I think that we are now going to have to start putting this back together. But before we do any of that, what I intend to do, it having been stood for 15 years, we're going to have to drop the oil, change the oil on him, oil and filter, and the plugs as well. And we'll have a look at those, and then we're going to dump the oil, have a look at that, and we're going to put it all back together. And we're going to start putting it bit by bit by bit by bit, taking it easy. We can build up the cooling system, build this bit back up by here, and I think what we'll do then is we'll get the carbs back on it and get it running before we start piecing everything back together and end up having to take a load of stuff back off because we've cocked something up. But I think that service, cooling system, running. Yeah, we've got a plan. That doesn't happen very often, does it? Let's have a crack. And we're obviously changing the coolant because, you know, there's nothing in it. So we got plugs, and we got to get, you know, there's 2 on each cylinder, and right, let's have a look. Oh, now you do need a thin wall socket for these because they're 18, and I like a bit of a wobble on them. Right, that's a bit rich, but there you go. Not quite what I expected, but there's nothing wrong with these plugs. Keep these as a spare. Oh, spare here. We're going to run that off on there because I forgot to charge it up. Look at that. Well, this engine had done no work, but you can tell it's been stood. Okay, there's the valves. Let's keep it there. There's the other plug. 1, 2, 3 valves. I wonder where they're from. They don't look deep though, they just look like surface marks. Well, maybe from where it's been stood and is stuck. Well, it is what it is now. That's a shame because it looked in excellent condition otherwise. Oh, they're supposed to be gapped from the factory. I could check them, but why would I distrust NGK? Huh? Why would I think that they're not telling me the truth? Let's do a cylinder at a time. This one's a bit easier. Okay, go. Christ! Paranoid now, it's scratching his frame. Oh God! Come on. Gapped. Click. Right. Who's this next one? Right. Now this one's a bit cheeky to get to by the looks of it. Now that's a bit of a better colour, not by much, but yeah, bit of a better colour. There's no lines on this one. Oh, there's some very faint lines there. I reckon that's just because of where it's been stood. I think, you know, in an ideal world you'd have this off here and you'd hone this up a bit, However, I know exactly what'll hone this, and that'll be a nice run up to Aberystwyth and back. I'll own it lovely. Really? Okay. And you. Christ. Well, again, it's obviously been running a bit rich. There we go. There we go. Plugs done. Right, next, oil. It's like bloody new. It's like bloody new. Yeah, it doesn't go small enough. Oh, it could be properly seized. One more go. Go. Nope. Okay. That's a shame. Never been a massive fan of this. But if it works, oh, this oil must have been barely changed. Mind you, it's full of petrol, so that's right. What we got? Let's have a look. Yeah, a racing oil filter. That looks spot on. Pressure relief valve in as well. Right, let's just have a look at the Hendler. See what that one looks like in comparison. I reckon they'll both fit. What we got here? Well, made in Japan, labelled in Malaysia. Fair play, I've had my money's worth out of this box of washers. Ooh. Sweet. Because the engine's not running at the moment, we can't, you know, let's stick 2.5 in and see what the crack is. Oh, we go. 1040. Jason. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's the stuff. Oh, that's the stuff. All the vitamins and minerals you need to grow big and strong. And this funnel shit. Remember, there's 2.5 litres in there. By the time the filter's sucked a bit up and we've had a top up, we should be fine. Right, so that's the basic sort of maintenance stuff done. Obviously there's no coolant in it at the moment, because one of the things that we've got to do is refit all the cooling system, which is something we might do next actually. Connect the engine on. So we're at the stage now where I want to refit the carburetor, mainly because I want to try and get this running before I do much more. I want to make sure that that's all sorted. I may have to, I don't know yet how much of this I've got to back up before that happens. I'd like to just see the engine run and sort of like make sure that we got everything a little bit dialed in before we go any further. Because you do, don't you? You know, it's kind of, if you've got to take anything back off, you don't want to have to do everything 12 times. So we've got the carb, and this was one of the problems, the main problems that we had with it when it was, you know, in here to start with, was this was missing, and you can see what's missing off there. Now, to buy this piece from anywhere where it was available, right, and you could get, there were places that had new old stock, and there were places that had, you know, I was looking at 60 quid just for that spring and cup setup there, and that this rubber boot and that, just that bit there. So without that, what I ended up doing was buying that spare carburetor, which came with a set of cables, and of course obviously attached to these cables. So I thought it'd be great to have spares for that, because, you know, there you go. But also it came with this, so, you know, and I looked at it as a kind of an investment. So I've got to find that cable. That was difficult. So I'm assuming all we've got to do is disassemble, and this doesn't look too easy. Oh look, that, it's done. Spring, plastic bit. Now this bit is okay. Oh, well, I'll never find that now. Oh my god, it has actually gone down in the cover. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. why I procrastinate, because it's always a bloody fight. So actually this particular piece of the bike here is some sort of portal to another dimension. Where did that go? I didn't see it fall. I heard it, but I didn't see it. Oh, for God's sake. Right, where were we? That's the choke cable sorted, and I think that was a big issue with what was previously occurring with it. Now, this is my rebuilt carburetor, which should just, now we found the clips, slot back in here. But you can't just slot it into one, you've got to slot it into two, and it all has to sync up. And yes, oh, I know it's got to fit. It came off here. Just feels wrong. Let's get the most wildly inappropriate pair of pliers in the world to do this. I get the feeling we should have done this prior to seating the carburetor. Right, hang on. Oh, it's going in a little. There we go. Right, so what we should have there now is a I'll be honest with you, that doesn't feel fantastic. Does that go on there? I'm thinking not. Oh, this is fantastically easy. I could do with the third hand. Have you got a third hand here? Go on the floor. Massive learning point here. And I thought it's worth me mentioning all of this, is that I've just spent the last half an hour to an hour probably trying to figure out why there's no return on this, whether it's stuck, and I've had the cables off, I've lubricated, I've done everything, absolutely bloody everything. What I've realized is that the issue is in fact to do with the cable tension. See, that's all wrong there. So we've got to make sure that this tension here is actually correct, and these cables, which are held in place by these things, and you can see that it's all designed to be in, and it keeps it in line. You don't see it normally. You couldn't do this with a tank on. You just couldn't. And there were probably people out there maybe watching this who've done this 10 times before, going, you're doing this the wrong way. Thing is, if it works, is it really wrong? Oh, you've got to have slack in it then. Or is it just the fact that it's loose? Because that's taking the slack off the top now. Hey, you learn something every day. So there you go. You have to have this little bit of slack in the bottom to allow the top to be tight and return. Because you're doing the motion the one way anyway, you don't necessarily bring it back. Okay. Well, there you go. I've learnt a lot. Woo, lovely. That took some bloody doing. Right, let's pinch his carb clips up. Because I tell you what I want to do now is I reckon that we should be in a position to start this monkey. All of this had to be, or the majority of it has to be plugged, because it is part of the loom and it kind of feeds in through this. But, you know, that's not too much of a thing. We know where it goes. We labelled them, you know. So, yeah, we've got the battery hooked up. We've had a fiddle. We've had a, you know, we put some coolant in it. Probably not full, but definitely enough, you know, it's all good. And we've even got it on the drip, you know. So we've got a thing going on here. Now, I think we need a little bit, not too much choke, because it's not exactly, you know. And I think we better give it a go, wouldn't we? How are we looking there? How's that looking? Yeah, right. So, it's going to be loud. It's going to be Harley Davidson stupid loud. So, as you know, etc. Well, there you go. Always a good sign. Right, are we good to go? I think we are. It's alright, that.